We're poor right now. We're absolutely shocking. I mean, 4 games without a goal from open play in all competitions. That's something to be worried about. That raises alarm bells. That is something that's got me thinking, what's going on? What's going on at the club? Why is this happening? Before that, we were scoring goals for fun. We put 4 past Watford, we put 4 past Southampton, we scored a brace against Chelsea, and then we're coming into this crucial period in the season where the 5 teams below Chelsea are completely fighting, scraping for points, and this is when we're deciding to dry up. We've got a couple injuries. Lamela still lamenting over his dog. You've got Danny Rose picks up an injury. Vertonghen apparently is going to be fit for the FA Cup. That still was an excuse for this team. Now our replacements, our depth is non-existent. We don't have depth, okay? We have a rubbish bench. We have a manager who lately is starting to lack tactical prowess. He hasn't got a clue what to do. We step into this game and for some reason he thinks it's intelligent to play Dele Alli on the left, Sissoko on the right. First things first, Moussa Sissoko should not be playing in this game. That guy is a waste of space. I don't know why he's in our team. True Geordie tried to warn me and every Spurs fan about him, and we went and spunked 30 million on him. That day, when he received the phone call from Spurs as he was on his way to the Everton training ground and he decided to duck them, not answer their calls and come to Spurs, was single-handedly one of the worst days in Spurs history. It was one of the worst signings. We've had many bad signings over the years. Soldado, Holtby. There's tons of signings. I don't even want to go through the list of bad signings we've had. Postiga. However, Moussa Sissoko has got to be one of the worst. You can't be £30 million and have like 2 assists and 0 goals mid-February. That doesn't make sense to me. That's the first thing. The second thing is, Harry Kane is in a rot right now. I feel like Janssen is on the field, except he's not even on the bench. I don't even know where Janssen is. Oh, by the way, that was another one of our dud signings. Remember him, Vincent Janssen, the man that Poch doesn't even select? And there's no excuse now. You know, there's no Baldini in the director's chair or Paul Mitchell or anyone to put the blame on. Poch signed these players, and these players are just not good enough. Kyle Walker, I have to say, another atrocious performance, and he's come leaps and bounds over the years, but the last 3 or 4 games, he's looking more like the Kyle Walker of old rather than the Kyle Walker of recent. He's going back to his thick, special ways. Eric Dyer once again proving he is not a centre-half. Ben Davies proving once again that he's not even a human being. He offers nothing going forward, and going back, he is so scared. So just jumpy. Anytime someone runs at him, he doesn't know what to do. His decision making is always awful. And I think one of the worst things about this team is they can't find the back of the net. And even worse than that, they can't create any chances. So we're not creating any chances. And in the few chances we do create, we're not clinical. That is a recipe for disaster. And then the other team gets 1 or 2 chances and they win the game 1-0. Let's have a look at some of the stats concerning Spurs at the moment. This was the 7th consecutive first leg of a knockout match Spurs have failed to win in the Europa League. We've drawn 3, lost 4. Spurs have never won a European match on Belgian soil. Drawn 2, lost 3. Spurs have lost back-to-back matches in the Europa League for the first time since November 2011. Perbit's goal was Gent's first shot on target in the match in the 59th minute. Yet we still lost 1-0. Spurs have now just won 2 of their last 14 away games across all competitions. We haven't got the mentality to compete. And if we don't fix this sooner rather than later, we'll find ourselves 6th in the league, because the gap between where we are and 6th is 2 points. So we'll find ourselves 6th. We'll find ourselves out of the Europa League. And quite possibly, if we put in this performance against Fulham, we will be out of the FA Cup as well. Between now and next week, when we play our next game at home against Stoke, we could find ourselves, if we lose that game, lose to Fulham, and don't turn the deficit against Gent, we could find ourselves out of 2 cup competitions and 6th in the table. In all honesty, I wouldn't put it past this team. I wouldn't put it past this club. I wouldn't put it past the mentality of this club, the ethos. And I don't want to sound like one of these Arsenal fan TV guys. I don't want to sound like one of these people that are just complaining and not seeing the cup as half full and seeing it as half empty. But I have eyes, I have ambition, and I just have a brain, to put it simply. It's just looking so bad. Dele Alli, honestly, when things doesn't go his way, he acts like a petulant child. It's ridiculous. He acts like he's got ADHD that is absolutely uncontrollable and he needs to be put on the naughty step and grounded for 4 weeks. He starts pushing people, picking up needless yellow cards, making the wrong decisions. Dembele today, probably one of the worst performances I've seen from Dembele. He tried to take people on, lost the ball, thought he had more time on the ball than he did. Wanyama as well. I've been praising Big Vic this season, but for some reason he thought he had 5-10 seconds more than he had on the ball. Every time he got the ball, tried to turn, looked, he was stripped of it. All teams have to do is watch a couple tapes of how we act when we're being high pressed. That's all they have to do. Oh, so this is how they crumble. This is how Wanyama loses the ball. This is how Dembele takes too many touches and then loses it, and then we have to break on them. This is how Dyer acts when you put him under a bit of pressure. This is how Ben Davies acts when you run at him. Even Alderweireld today was sloppy, and that just breaks my heart to say. He lost the ball in 2 dangerous areas that could have resulted in a goal. Most notably the one from Mitrovic, who really should have put it in the back of the net, but Lloris made a good save and it managed to hit the post and go away. Lloris also not even being able to kick the ball away, slicing it, giving away needless corners. All of these players under pressure being bad. And then what makes it even worse is after the game, I'm expecting one of the players to come forward and literally rip into the team and say, look, this isn't good enough. We were poor. We were diabolical. We need to be better. Eric Dyer comes forward and pretty much shrugs off the performance and says, oh, we lacked a bit of quality in certain areas. Dyer, are you serious? And mate, you are not the person to be fucking stepping forward and actually giving a post-match interview, mate. You've been absolutely fucking Dyer. You have lived up to your surname in these past few games and it's just not on. I just don't understand why we're so poor right now. We looked good for about 10 minutes of that game, and that was just after half-time when Poch bollocked them, and then they just slipped back into that lackadaisical manner that they've been carrying around with them for the last 4 games. Harry Kane, if he didn't score that penalty, it'd be like 4, 5, 6 games without a goal right now. It's just not good enough. And then he had a golden opportunity literally about 6 yards out and he hits the post. Come on, man. This is just not good enough. These are the margins in football. You guys know this. You're professionals. You've been there before. And we keep talking about how they need to show experience from last season. They need to show that they're growing and maturing. But I'm not seeing no maturity. I'm seeing immaturity. I'm seeing kids out there. They're a year older, yet they look like they lack experience. We literally run the risk of finishing 3 places below where we finished last season. We finished 3rd, we could finish 6th. There's 2 points in this. This is not how you respond from getting battered by Liverpool away. You eliminated yourself from the title race and you're showing that it's still affecting you in a completely different competition. I don't know what to say, man. Like, I could be here laying into these guys all day, but no matter what I say will change the fact that these guys have to go home and look themselves in the mirror as men, not even as footballers, as men. They have to look themselves in the eyes, in their iris. They have to look deep into their souls and ask themselves, do I want to be a winner or do I want to be a loser? Do I want to win something or do I want to walk away with nothing? They need to go and watch some tapes of Xavi. Do you know how many medals that man owns? Do you know why? Because he went out and got the job done. He was a winner. He used all of his ability to the maximum capability. He reached his full potential. And right now, a lot of you players have potential, but you're not really fulfilling it. And as much as I rant here on this video, only you can take control of your own destiny. Only you can prove that you want to win things. You can sit there in your £1 million mansions. You can have your amazing cars. But at the end of the day, that won't fill the void inside you. That lets you know that you are not a winner. That you don't have medals. Poch, really and truly, I don't like to slate you because you've done wonders for this. This is the best Spurs team I've ever seen since I've been alive. Which is quite embarrassing to say because we still haven't even won anything under your tenure. But still, this is the best team and yet you're still showing immaturity in your tactical decisions. So I'm talking about the players' immaturity, but we have a manager who is very young and lacks a lot of experience and shows it. He's starting to change the mentality, but we've still got a long way to go because when they suffer a defeat like they did at the hands of Liverpool, they can't bounce back. They need to listen to Big Sean's album. Maybe that would motivate them. I don't know what to say, man. I mean, we've lost to a team who are 8th in a Belgian league. They made like 5 or 6 changes. That was more or less our first team, bar Ericsson. And Winks was better than every man on that field. And the reason I'm just not losing it or going angry is because the only reason is because we're still in the tie. However, we're away at Wembley. And this is what scares me. We've seen our record. We've won 2 in 14 away games in all competitions so far. That's our current form and record away from home. Wembley is away. It takes me about an hour and a half to get there. It's basically away. It's not White Hart Lane. We've been at Wembley throughout the Champions League. Do you really think they're going to come and turn in a performance against this Gent team? I don't think so. I genuinely do think we're going out of the Europa. I really want to back them, but the rot they're in at the moment, I would not be surprised if we went out of the FA Cup against Fulham, and then if we went out of the Europa League against Gent. And then we're going to struggle against Stoke because right now we can't score. And if you don't score, you don't win games. It's as simple as that. Football's not rocket science, mate. It's not algebra. But yeah, I'm going to stop wasting my oxygen on these players, my energy. I'm going to do some yoga, woosah, because right now I'm gymming and I feel like I'm in a good place, and I feel like Spurs are just fucking up my feng shui. So, you know what? I'm going to knock it on the head here. Guys, let me know in the comments below what you thought of that dog shit performance. Why do you think these players can't score goals? Why do you think they lack so much mentality? Is it to do with the manager? Is it to do with the players? Is it just the whole ethos of this comical club? Let me know in the comments below. If you're new to my channel, hit the subscribe button. Also hit the notification bell so that you get these videos as soon as they come out. And guys, once again, we've lost back-to-back losses. We're like Meek Mill right now. Keep it casual.